From peeling panels to deadly crashes, the 2025 Cybertruck is turning into a $100,000 disaster on wheels. If you're thinking about buying one, you need to see this first. In March 2025, Tesla issued a major recall for 46,096 Cybertrucks. The problem was tied to the stainless steel cantrail panels, which could suddenly detach while the truck was in motion. These panels were glued to the windshield and roof using an adhesive that simply couldn't withstand real-world conditions. Tesla blamed environmental embrittlement, a kind of chemical breakdown caused by changes in temperature. The glue would lose flexibility, start to crack, and eventually give out completely. Videos started showing up online of Cybertruck owners peeling the panels off with barely any force, which exposed just how weak the bond really was. Tesla tried to fix it by using a stronger adhesive and adding welded studs to the panels. But even this solution didn't address the deeper issue. The design itself relied far too much on glue to hold things together. This was especially troubling considering the Cybertruck had been marketed as indestructible. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration took notice and launched an investigation. There were 151 warranty claims and a growing number of customer complaints. It became clear this wasn't just one bad batch. It was a sign of serious quality control problems at Tesla. Just a few months earlier, in December 2024, Tesla had discovered another major issue, this time with its 4680 battery packs. These new batteries were a key part of the Cybertruck's design, but something went wrong during assembly. The cylindrical battery cells weren't properly shielded, and as a result, many of them ended up dented. At first, these dents weren't visible from the outside, but inside the packs, the damage could trigger short circuits or even fires due to what's known as thermal runaway. To prevent that risk, Tesla had to recall affected trucks and send them back to Gigafactory Texas for full battery replacement. This wasn't a quick fix. The process meant disassembling large parts of the truck's exoskeleton, and Tesla's service centers simply weren't equipped to deal with such large-scale repairs. Owners were stuck waiting for weeks. With no over-the-air updates or temporary solutions, the situation exposed a huge gap in Tesla's ability to respond quickly to hardware failures, and it raised new concerns about the safety and reliability of their in-house battery technology. Around the same time, another problem was frustrating Cybertruck owners: complete failure of the autopilot and full self-driving systems. Despite multiple software updates, many trucks kept showing the same message: auto steer not available. In one detailed report posted in February 2025, a Cybertruck refused to activate FSD even after 67 miles of driving to calibrate the cameras. Without lane keeping or adaptive cruise control, the high-tech truck felt stripped down and unreliable. Tesla service centers tried everything, including firmware reflashes, but the issue often came back. In many cases, it was blamed on sensor misalignment, though the actual fix remained unclear. In February 2025, a report from FuelArt caused a stir by claiming that the Tesla Cybertruck had 14.52 fire-related deaths per 100,000 vehicles. That's 17 times higher than the Ford Pinto's rate of 0.85, a car famously linked to deadly fires. Although this claim came from a small sample, just 5 fires out of 34,438 Cybertrucks, it raised serious questions. Experts say the Cybertruck's stainless steel body conducts heat more easily, and when combined with its high-voltage battery, the risk of fires can go up significantly. One especially disturbing case involved a Cybertruck explosion in Las Vegas after a driver took their own life. Elon Musk later claimed the fire had nothing to do with the vehicle, but many remained unconvinced. Tesla has not released any public information on how the Cybertruck handles fire suppression or battery thermal runaway, which only deepened concerns. Even before the Cybertruck was released, problems were already showing up. In 2022, an internal engineering report leaked online revealed that early test models had major trouble with braking. The report said the brakes made excessive noise and had inconsistent stopping distances, especially during test drives. Despite Elon Musk promising sub-10 micron accuracy in production, many 2025 owners have complained about the way the brakes feel. Some drivers say that in wet conditions, the pedal feels harsh and there's a strange pulsing when the anti-lock braking system kicks in. The weight of the truck, about 3,500 kilograms, only makes the problem worse. In fact, independent tests show that the Cybertruck takes 12% longer to stop than the Ford F-150 Lightning. That's a big issue for a vehicle meant to be tough and high performance. On top of that, federal investigators from the NHTSA have raised alarms over the Cybertruck's steer-by-wire system, saying it doesn't have a mechanical backup. This could violate Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standard 203, and regulators are now looking into it more seriously. In March 2025, Tesla shocked investors by pausing Cybertruck production. The reason? A massive buildup of unsold trucks at Gigafactory Texas. Reports said there were about $200 million worth of Cybertrucks sitting idle, collecting dust. This was especially surprising considering Tesla once claimed it had 1.8 million reservations for the vehicle. But the reality didn't match the hype. Only around 50,000 Cybertrucks were being delivered each year. A big part of the delay comes from Elon Musk's decision to use stainless steel for the body, a design choice that slows the assembly line down by 40% compared to more standard materials. That delay in production, combined with a string of negative headlines, seems to have hit demand hard. In fact, the value of used Cybertrucks has dropped 55% year over year, a sign that buyers may be losing confidence. When Tesla shut down production, they moved 1,200 workers over to Model Y manufacturing, suggesting the company may be quietly backing away from its once ambitious Cybertruck plans. In April 2024, Tesla had to recall 3,878 Cybertrucks due to a dangerous problem with the accelerator pedal. A small design mistake turned into a serious safety risk. During assembly, a bit of leftover lubricant caused the pedal cover to slide out of place. This made the pedal stick against the floorboard when pressed. The issue went viral after a TikTok video showed a Cybertruck accelerating out of control. In response, Tesla quickly installed a rivet to stop the pedal from moving too far. But critics said this wasn't a real fix. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, called it insufficient and pointed out that the pedal's single hinge design was still weak and could fail again. What seemed like a small oversight quickly turned into a headline-making safety scandal. Just 2 months later, in June 2024, another major recall hit the Cybertruck. This time, 11,000 units were affected by a problem with the windshield wiper motor. The motors were overheating due to electrical overcurrent, and the issue was traced back to defective gate driver components. When the motors failed, the wipers stopped working, leaving drivers helpless in heavy rain. That clearly violated NHTSA's visibility rules. Tesla had chosen a single oversized 76-centimeter wiper blade to save money, instead of using a traditional two-blade system. But this design made it more likely for the system to fail. Even though the fix only took around 30 minutes per truck, a parts shortage meant many owners were left waiting for months. Some had to manually wipe their windshields just to drive in bad weather. One of the most disturbing problems came from the Cybertruck's front trunk, or frunk. It doesn't have any anti-pinch sensors, which turned out to be a big mistake. The lid weighs around 45 kilograms, and when it shuts, it does so with force. Several people reported injuries, including severed fingertips. A video posted in January 2024 showed the frunk lid slicing carrots clean in half, making it clear how dangerous it could be to hands, or especially to curious children. Tesla's manual gives only a vague warning to keep body parts clear, and so far, regulators haven't forced the company to fix it. Pediatric safety groups are now speaking up, saying the frunk needs a redesign immediately before more injuries happen. Since July 2023, Cybertruck prototypes have shown clear quality control problems. Panel gaps were often wider than 5 millimeters, letting water leak into the vehicle and damage electronics inside. In 2025, a teardown by Monroe and Associates confirmed these flaws. Doors and fenders were misaligned, and the problem was linked to the truck's stainless steel exoskeleton, which is very hard to adjust during manufacturing. This wasn't supposed to happen. Elon Musk had promised back in 2021 that Tesla would fix panel gaps for good, but even the 2025 models still had the same issues. These kinds of fit and finish flaws have taken a toll on Tesla's premium image and hurt the truck's resale value. From the beginning, one of the biggest complaints from early Cybertruck owners has been the amount of noise inside the cabin. At highway speeds, sound levels reach as high as 75 decibels, which is about as loud as a diesel truck. This isn't just an inconvenience. It's a clear sign of poor soundproofing. The main problem comes from the way the truck is built. The stainless steel body doesn't seal properly with the sharp glass panels, and this creates wind turbulence and annoying vibrations while driving. Tesla tried to fix this by adding a special vibration dampening layer they claimed was acoustically advanced. But when a popular YouTube channel tore the truck apart in 2024, they showed that the material only reduced the noise by 3 to 4 decibels, which made little difference. Frustrated owners turned to aftermarket solutions, but even those proved disappointing. One popular fix, the TESMAG wind noise reduction kit, costs $130 and is supposed to seal gaps around the doors using rubber strips. However, it doesn't hold up well because the Cybertruck's stiff body causes the seals to peel off while driving. Tesla's own service centers even suggested using 3 MVHB tape to cover the gaps, basically telling owners to tape their trucks shut. This makeshift fix became a joke online. One Reddit user said, "Closing the door feels like slamming a bank vault," pointing out how the tape actually made the doors harder to shut. For a vehicle marketed as futuristic, the solution felt embarrassingly low-tech. In April 2024, a hailstorm in Texas shattered Tesla's bold claims about the Cybertruck's Armor glass. Tesla said the truck could survive Class 4 hail, which includes 2-inch stones flying at 72 miles per hour. But after the storm, a Cybertruck owner posted photos showing a cracked windshield. The replacement cost was a painful $2,326.75. And to make things worse, it wasn't even covered under warranty. Weather experts later explained the problem. The Cybertruck's windshield is huge, flat, and angled at 57 degrees, which makes it more likely to take a direct hit instead of deflecting hail like curved glass does. Strangely enough, cars parked nearby had dents in the body, but no broken windshields. This real-life failure reminded many people of the truck's awkward debut back in 2019, when a metal ball famously shattered the window during a live demo. Tesla has tried to prove the glass is stronger now, showing off controlled tests. But out in the real world, the problems continue. And with a price tag of over $2,300 for a replacement, it's one of the most expensive windshields on the market. That price comes from its custom size and the fact that it includes built-in cameras and sensors. Compared to a regular truck like the Ford F-150, fixing a Cybertruck's glass can cost nearly double. Tesla says the Cybertruck's software is perfect because it can be updated over the air. But in real life, many owners are facing serious problems. In February 2024, a new owner named Carlos Thomas shared that he had experienced 25 critical software errors within just 48 hours of picking up his truck. The issues weren't small either. One bug turned off the power steering, another triggered a high-voltage fault that stopped the truck from moving, and when it rained lightly, the traction control system failed and caused the wheels to spin. Then in March 2024, things got worse for another driver on Interstate 10. While driving, their screen went completely black and started beeping nonstop. They had to call a tow truck just to get off the road. Many of these problems happen because Tesla relies too much on software to make up for hardware limits. For example, a feature called trailer mode is supposed to help with towing, but instead it randomly shuts off autopilot, leaving drivers without warning. For owners expecting smooth, futuristic tech, the glitches feel more like a beta test gone wrong. Tesla promoted the Cybertruck as having a revolutionary exoskeleton frame, but that claim doesn't hold up under the surface. In 2024, Monroe and Associates took the truck apart and revealed the truth. It's a regular unibody design, just like the Model Y. The shiny 3mm thick stainless steel panels on the outside are more about style than strength. All the interior parts are attached to the battery pack, which makes the build faster, but also less stiff overall. Because of this design, the Cybertruck is very heavy. It weighs around 3,000 kilograms, which puts a huge strain on the suspension and lowers how much it can carry. The payload capacity ends up being 1,134 kilograms, which is 22% less than the Rivian R1T, a direct competitor. Even though the stainless steel looks tough, it doesn't actually add structural strength like traditional high-strength steel frames do. Engineering tests confirm that the Cybertruck doesn't have better stiffness or support despite its aggressive look. The Cybertruck might look tough on paper with its 11,000-pound towing rating, but real-world results have been far from impressive. In June 2024, a highway test at 75 miles per hour with a 6,800-pound boat trailer caused the dual-motor Cybertruck's range to plummet from 340 miles down to just 136 miles. That's a massive 60% drop. The problem isn't just the weight. The flat underbody creates turbulent air under the trailer, increasing drag and hurting efficiency. The drag coefficient jumps by 0.15 CD when towing. Things get worse when it comes to handling. The truck doesn't have adaptive suspension or rear-wheel steering, so once you pass 56 miles per hour, trailer sway becomes dangerous. Meanwhile, trucks like the Ford F-150 Lightning come equipped with features like Pro Trailer Hitch Assist, which automatically balances braking and throttle to keep things steady. Tesla's solution: inflate the tires to 65 psi while towing. That's 30% higher than normal pressure, which only makes the ride rougher and wears the tires out faster. Tesla had promised a $16,000 gasoline range extender for early 2025, but delays in battery supplies and cooling problems in the new 4680 cells pushed it to mid-2025. This left long-distance drivers stuck with the supercharger network, which isn't built to handle the Cybertruck's 800V system outside big cities. Then came the quiet downgrade. In October 2024, Tesla reduced the dual-motor version's extended range from over 470 miles to just above 445 miles. That's a 5.3% cut, brushed off as an optimization adjustment. At the same time, competitors like Rivian's R1T were offering a dual-mode range extender that didn't eat up any bed space and still gave over 400 miles of range. No delays, no hassle. To make matters worse, Tesla's own website removed the extender option entirely in April 2025. This sudden move left early customers who had had paid $2,000 non-refundable deposits in the dark, wondering if the feature had been canceled altogether. Charging the Cybertruck quickly sounds good on paper, but the reality is disappointing. During fast charging, the 4,680 battery starts out strong, hitting 320 kilowatts. But within just 20 minutes in warm weather, that number crashes down to 90 kilowatts. The issue lies in Tesla's ribbon-style cooling system, which just can't handle the heat buildup caused by the thick 46mm cells packed with 272 watt-hours per kilogram of energy. Tests at Tesla's V4 superchargers showed a weak improvement. Charging from 10% to 80% took 35 minutes, barely faster than the 36.5 minutes at older V3 stations. Even though the V4 stations offer 30% more power, the system's cooling just can't keep up. The tabless electrode design inside the cells does help reduce internal resistance by 60%, but when the coolant can't flow fast enough, cell temperatures climb past 50 degrees Celsius. Tesla hasn't released a proper fix yet, so owners are forced to end charging sessions early, usually around the 30-minute mark, to avoid damaging their batteries. In February 2024, a routine over-the-air software update led to something much more serious: a complete power steering failure in 380,000 vehicles, including the Cybertruck. Drivers suddenly had to manually steer a truck with a 1,500 Newton-meter system, which is no easy task. Tesla's steer-by-wire design doesn't have a backup, no mechanical link, just two electronic control units. When those both failed during tests, there was nothing left to keep the truck steerable. In July 2024, Edmunds experienced this issue firsthand when their Cybertruck entered limp mode during track testing. A warning appeared for a critical steering issue, and the truck limited itself to just 4 miles per hour until it could be restarted. Meanwhile, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, opened an investigation under case SQ 24-002, citing over 3,100 warranty claims about steering lockups. Tesla's temporary solution? A software rollback, not an actual hardware fix. But U.S. safety law, specifically Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standard 203, requires a physical backup for steering systems. That means the Cybertruck is skating on thin ice and could be facing a recall. Tesla claimed its 30x coal-rolled stainless steel body would be nearly immune to the elements. But owners in coastal states like Florida and California found rust forming after just 11 days of light rain. Lab tests showed the alloy's protective chromium oxide layer breaks down fast when exposed to salty air, especially when chloride levels go over 50 parts per million, which is common near the ocean. Tesla made things worse by skipping a clear coat and using a textured finish called Satin X that actually traps moisture. As a result, the surface corrodes at a rate of 0.1 millimeters per year, 5 times faster than traditional galvanized steel. The only way to stop it? Tesla recommends a special cleaner with a pH between 6.5 and 7.5 that costs $250 per bottle and must be applied weekly. That adds up to around $1,300 in extra maintenance every year just to keep your truck from rusting. Tesla originally promised a $3,000 solar tonneau cover that would add 24 kilometers of range per day, but in real-world conditions, it barely manages 5 kilometers even under perfect sunlight. The problem? Misaligned tracks and faulty MPPT controllers. Tesla's own service bulletins blame the failures on degrading ribbon cables in the retractable parts, which often need replacing every 6 to 8 months. Some owners have turned to third-party options like Sunflare's $10,000 solar wrap, which generates 1.5 kilowatts of power. But that workaround reduces bed space and voids Tesla's battery warranty. The original patent from 2021 planned for 110 solar cells, but production units were shipped with only 72 to cut costs. Meanwhile, Rivian's competing setup, the Gear Tunnel Solar, manages to generate 12 kilometers of range per day, and it doesn't interfere with storage space. Once again, Tesla made big promises but failed to deliver. Since January 2024, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, has launched 8 official investigations into safety issues with the Cybertruck, more than any other Tesla model ever. One of the most serious cases happened in November 2024 when a Cybertruck crashed into a concrete wall in California at 97 kilometers per hour, killing 3 college students. Investigators found that the vehicle's stainless steel exoskeleton failed to protect the cabin, which led to a deadly collapse. What made this worse was that the driver had turned off autopilot just 1.2 seconds before the crash, something that raised even more red flags about the system's reliability. By December 2024, NHTSA had already received 21 official complaints about the Cybertruck. These problems included everything from windshield wiper motor failures to accelerator pedals getting stuck. Because of this, regulators are thinking about forcing Tesla to add backup systems for the brake pedal and strengthen the A-pillar design. If Tesla doesn't cover the changes under warranty, owners of early Cybertrucks might have to pay between $8,000 and $12,000 for the upgrades, making those early models almost worthless. The Cybertruck is also losing value fast. Data shows that it loses 48% of its value within 5 years. That means a truck that originally cost $96,985 would be worth just $50,888 after that time. But the biggest drop happens in the first year. In fact, auction houses say 2024 models have already lost about 33% of their value, around $32,000, when resold by early buyers. This is a major contrast to the Rivian R1T, which still holds 68.9% of its value after 3 years, mostly because of better build quality and stronger customer loyalty. Tesla made things worse by not letting customers buy out their leases, something they had never done before. This move suggests the company is worried about the long-term value of the truck. On top of that, used Cybertrucks cost an average of $6,200 to fix up before resale. Issues like misaligned panels and battery checks are so common that most third-party dealers are refusing to sell them. Elon Musk's leadership has also added fuel to the fire. Since March 2024, his role as both Tesla's CEO and advisor to the Trump administration has hurt the brand. According to Morning Consult surveys, Tesla's brand favorability dropped by 22 points. This led to the rise of the Tesla Takedown movement, a protest group that has organized more than 500 global demonstrations. One of the most notable events happened in March of 2025, when protesters occupied Tesla's Fifth Avenue store in New York. 6 people were arrested. Meanwhile, acts of vandalism have exploded. In just the first quarter of 2025, 47 Cybertrucks were damaged with acid-based paints that ruined the stainless steel panels. Many former Tesla fans, especially those who supported progressive causes, turned their backs on the company after Musk introduced reforms through the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, which cut 100,000 federal jobs. This political fallout led to a 19% drop in Tesla sales in blue states during the fourth quarter of 2024 compared to the previous year. Owning a Cybertruck is expensive, not just to buy, but to insure and repair. In 2025, full coverage insurance for the truck costs $3,392 a year. That's 45% more than the national average and 17% more than insuring a Tesla Model X. One major reason is the stainless steel body. Even minor dents in the door take 18 hours to repair, costing around $2,700. In comparison, aluminum trucks only need 6 hours for similar damage. Replacing the windshield is also pricey, averaging $2,300 because of the special glass size. If the Cybertruck gets into an accident, repairs take a long time. On average, it takes 52 days to fix, about 31% longer than what's normal in the industry. Only 12% of body shops in the US even have the special tools needed to work on them. Because of these problems, insurance companies like Geico and Progressive now charge Cybertruck owners a $1,500 deductible just for their vehicle. They point to data showing the truck has a 37% higher rate of at-fault accidents in cities compared to other vehicles. When it comes to performance, the Cybertruck is falling behind. It can carry up to 1,580 kilograms in payload, but that's 23% less than the Ford F-150 Lightning, which can carry 2,041 kilograms. The Rivian R1T also has unique features like tank turn, which lets the truck spin in place, something the Cybertruck's rigid design can't do. Ford's Pro Power onboard system also delivers 9.6 kilowatts of power for tools, which is 3 times more than what the Cybertruck can provide. In cold weather, the Cybertruck struggles even more. In minus 12 degrees Celsius tests, it kept only 53% of its battery range. Meanwhile, the F-150 Lightning kept 72% thanks to a smart battery warming system. The Cybertruck also isn't easy to get into. Its 38.1 centimeters ground clearance creates a steep 22-degree angle for entry, which is tough for shorter drivers. Rivian fixed this issue with an air suspension that lowers itself automatically when someone gets in. All of these factors are pushing buyers away. A Bloomberg survey from early 2025 showed that 68% of people who had placed Cybertruck reservations decided to switch to other brands.